Yo, YouTube, what is up? Welcome back to the Radar for Wrestling Studios.
What up, Mox?
Guys, NXT just finished up. We have one takeaway from an NXT show. That's pretty much all. This whole episode that we got for you guys today is all about Edge, because Edge is our takeaway from NXT, and we got some rumor mill stuff from Edge later on. So make sure you tune into the end of the episode so you get some news on Edge and Christian. Remember, the returning Christian at the Rumble. So it's all about Edge this entire week, starting from Sunday to Friday. It's all gonna be about Edge, because we know Edge probably gonna show up on Friday Night SmackDown and confront Roman Reigns as well. So we got a couple things to get into. One takeaway from the show. Let's get into it, and then we got our news at the end. So make sure you tune into the end of the video. But before we jump into the video, remind you guys, drop a like and a comment on here. Helps out with YouTube algorithms. You know, it'll bring more videos to you guys recommended, and we like conversating with you guys, growing the community. Let us know what you guys think of the channel and everything going on in NXT and WWE as a whole. We love to hear you guys' comments, your opinions, all that good stuff. So continue to conversate with us and let us know what you guys think. If you're watching and not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Shout out to all new subscribers. Thanks again. All love and support getting us over that 1K sub mark. We do appreciate you guys for subbing to the channel and supporting us and liking the content that you guys we're bringing to you guys. So thank you for that. Notification bells, when new videos drop. Social media, you already know what the story is. Social media, all that stuff pops up on the screen. Follow me on all those platforms. Get right into it. One takeaway: NXT. NXT started off women's Dusty Classic tag team tournament. Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez taking on Kaden Carter and Casey Catanzaro.
Match.
Yeah, it was a good match, and we all pretty much knew who was going to win this. And it was an obvious one that Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez ended up coming out with the win here. So I believe they'll face the winners of, and this is big news, NXT TakeOver, now called Vengeance Day. It's happening on Valentine's Day, which I think they missed the boat, and they could have called it St. Valentine's Day Massacre, but I guess the word massacre, they want to have it on TV, whatever. No, but Vengeance Day, I guess. But we have Vengeance Day TakeOver, and that will be the Kai and Gonzalez facing the winner of Shotzi, Ember, LeRae in the Hartwell match. So we'll see who ends up winning that match and who will end up facing them at the TakeOver event. But it was a good match to start off the show.
Definitely was.
Yeah. Next thing we had was Austin Theory taking on Leon Ruff.
More Leon Ruff, man. A lot of Leon Ruff.
Yeah. He's not going away anytime soon, I don't believe.
No, he's not.
But in the end, Austin Theory gets the win. We had Dexter Lumis show up and attack Theory and then kind of rip off some of his hair, because as Theory was trying to get away, some of his hair was ripped off. So we have two things branching off here. We have Lumis and Theory, which will eventually become probably Lumis and Gargano, and then we have Gargano versus Kushida that will take place at the TakeOver event as well for the North American Championship. And then Ruff's kind of just there in the middle, so we'll see what happens with these guys.
Good on him, man. He weighs like a 90 pound soaking wet, but he's former North American champion. That guy's killing it right now. Good for him.
Next thing the show is Lucha House Party taking on Legado del Fantasma in the Dusty Classic. The CU makes it to the semifinals. Whoever wins this will face MSK. The winners of the match with Legado del Fantasma, and the MSK will come out and confront them and cut a promo. They cut a promo, not a good one, but they cut a promo. So they continue to push it.
Need some more voice.
They continue to push the team. Yeah, they do need some work on the promo department, but they are a tag team, so maybe they can get away with it. But yeah, that was pretty much it for that. So we'll see that eventually coming down the line. In the semifinals. And the winner of that, will go on to the final and face, I guess, either Ciampa and Thatcher, or whoever the hell the other tag team is in this thing. Next thing on the show, and it is takeaway number 1. Pete Dunne comes in the ring calling a promo, calling out Finn Balor. He's going to take on the NXT champion at Vengeance Day, NXT TakeOver. Finn Balor comes out, and they get interrupted by this man right here. Radar superstar Edge comes out, shows up. He showed up on Monday Night Raw and teased that he might challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship after winning the Royal Rumble. He comes out here and teases that he may challenge whoever's the NXT champion at WrestleMania for the NXT Championship. Now, he said that, he's giving compliments to both guys and all that. And he says, it's intriguing because he's never won it. He's never had the title. And depending on how the match goes at TakeOver, it may make him more intrigued. And I think interesting thing after this was that he ran up on Karrion Kross as well. And Karrion Kross told him, was like, you're challenging not Dunn or Balor. It's going to be me, because I'm going to reclaim the title that I never lost. So we could end up seeing that matchup. I'm excited for all three. I'm more excited for Kross and Edge, because I just like Kross as a character. Second place probably be Balor, and then third will be Pete Dunne. But I don't see Pete Dunne win the NXT Championship. I think Balor, Kross is the moneymaker and what they want to push. And then maybe Edge, I don't know if they want to do it again like they did last year with Charlotte Flair taking on NXT champion. I'm not sure if they want to do it, but I thought it was an awesome segment. Just see Edge there, and I thought it was good just for NXT itself.
Yeah, I think this was just more promoting NXT and try to get more products, eyeballs on the product, get Edge.
Take away from AEW as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I think just saying Edge is going to be there just kind of adds to it and gets people, flipping the channel. I think that's basically what it was. But I also like the fact that they're having think and hop on every show and maybe be part of every show for the next couple of weeks and have that storyline booking of, who is he going to pick to fight and who is he going to match up with. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be either somebody on Raw or SmackDown. I don't think he's going to go for NXT title. It doesn't really make any sense. He's too big of a guy for NXT title. I know he said he's never had it and it's intriguing to him, but I just don't think it makes any sense. I think especially because there isn't a lot of star power this WrestleMania this year, so they need Edge in a main event match with either Drew or Roman. I think that's where they have to book it. They're kind of booked in this corner because they haven't really built a lot of star power.
Yep.
So it's kind of they're kind of screwed. So basically, Edge has to be in one of the big main events. So NXT title is not there yet. I'm not saying one day it won't. Doubt it, but Edge has got to be in the big match.
He has to be, and I do think that they should eventually start putting the NXT Championship on WrestleMania, where there's just two NXT guys going at each other. Even though there's NXT Takeover the night before, they should still do NXT Championship on the show of Mania as well. I think it gives them more importance if they do that. But the interesting thing was afterwards, like I said, he ran up on karrion Kross as well. So he's kind of coming after everybody, and letting everybody know. But guys, that's takeaway number one. Next thing on the show is Jessica Mia taking on Toni Storm. Jessica Mia, part of the Robert Stone brand again. The match ends up in disqualification because Mercedes Martinez comes in because she has her issues with Toni Storm. And then here comes Io Shirai. Io Shirai takes them both out and she stands tall as you're still your NXT Women's Champion, obviously. But that match is coming. It's coming at Vengeance Day. It's a triple threat: Mercedes Martinez, Toni Storm, and Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm surprised they actually threw Mercedes in and made it a three-way instead of just having Toni Storm and her. But that's their choice. That's what they're going with. We all know all roads lead to Raquel Gonzalez, anyways. At this point. Yep. So there goes that. Next thing on the show was Santos Escobar versus Kurt Stallion for the Cruiserweight Championship. A match that was supposed to happen last week, but the attack stopped it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, Escobar wins, he retains, and then karrion Kross comes out and confronts him. I think this is weird. It's awkward. I don't really understand why he's coming out and doing this. He's just, I guess, he didn't like what he had to say, Escobar, or whatever. I don't know. I don't really like it, but it's I guess karrion Kross is the babyface in the situation, but it's kind of tough to take that as a babyface really gimmick, right?
He's kind of being a bully because he's just jumping on smaller guys.
That's what I'm saying. I guess, yeah. And he wants nothing to do with the Cruiserweight Championship. Obviously, he can't even go for it because he's not 205 and under. Yeah. So I guess he's just gonna beat Escobar's ass, pretty much. That's it.
It doesn't make any sense. You're just kind of like shitting on the Cruiserweight Champion, basically, because you're just throwing this huge monster and having him destroy your entire, league. But we saw more of Scarlett, so there was that.
That's always a good thing. We'll see how in the next couple of weeks, if it'll be important, like kind of try to make this storyline make a little bit of sense as to why it's happening.
I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense to me. I think they're just in a holding pattern because they're trying to get the Pete Dunne Finn Balor thing set, and then they're going to move on to karrion versus whoever. But they could do something better than this. It doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure karrion Kross versus Finn Balor will happen at the NXT Takeover for WrestleMania weekend. I'm pretty sure that's when that's going to happen. So I don't know. That's what it is. But we'll see if they can make some sense out of it. Next thing on the show: Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa taking on Adam Cole and Roderick Strong to see
who makes a tag team. Man.
Yeah, who makes it into the semifinals of the Dusty Classic. This was a tremendous matchup. So you had two tremendous tag team matches to end both AEW and NXT.
You really did.
So some interesting things going on here. But in the end, Ciampa and Thatcher win. They're one hell of a tag team together. I mean, to be honest with you, they work well together. Yeah, hard-hitting beast group that they are. They won, and then they confronted the grizzled young veterans who they'll face in the semifinals of the Dusty Classic, and they started to brawl a little bit with them. But that was the end of the show and how it ended. So interesting how Cole and Strong lost here. I thought they would have booked it differently, maybe took them apart, made this the final. They probably would have been maybe better, but I think they really want to push MSK and stuff like that. So,
Bobby Fish back too. Where was he?
Real quick, Bobby Fish sighting. So excited, good to see Bobby Fish out there.
Good to know he's still around.
But guys, that's our one takeaway and our review for NXT today. And let's get to some news and rumors. And like I said in the beginning of the video, this whole week is about the Rated R Superstar Edge. And some interesting news that came out about Edge and Christian. So Christian obviously made his triumphant return at the Rumble. So did Edge. They had an embrace, and we talked about on our Monday Night Raw episode. Check that out in the archives. about Christian. He was in the final 4 of the Royal Rumble, technically, the final 5 technically, but whatever. He comes back for the night, and we don't know. He kind of alluded that he may only have the one off, and that's it. But it didn't make much sense for him to be in that situation, only wrestle one time, and be at the Rumble and never see him again. This is what Edge had to say. I would love it. I think at some point that will need to happen, just because there are so many opportunities there between Edge and Christian against the Usos. I mean, man, Edge and Christian against the New Day, Edge and Christian against Ziggler and Rude, Edge and Christian versus the Street Profits. Not for nothing, Edge and Christian versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. There's some stuff there, and he is like 100% on the nose right there. That like a team up again of Edge and Christian making a return as a tag team would be utterly awesome. Them against the Street Profits, like in terms of like maybe on the mic, might be kind of interesting as well. And Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, if they were to become a tag team again, that'd be awesome. And to see them, Edge and Christian versus them, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, and I think it will jolt the tag team division. You have 2 megastars coming back after all this time, and you know, especially with them returning from major injuries, both retirements and stuff like that, and then coming back together to tag team up, I think it would be pretty cool. As long as they're not just there to put everybody over like the Dudleys when they come back, because it kind of puts a damper on them. People want to see them win at least a little bit, so it may be good to have them get into some heated rivalries with people, and not just be in those rivalries where they're just there to put the young guys over. In the end, most likely that's what they're going to do. For the most part, at the end of the feud, they might lose out some of them, but yeah, they need to be in these like a legitimate staple in the tag team division, at least for like, you know, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, something like that, something to give some stability to the tag team division and give it another tag team that's like a big name, I guess. I think that's what the tag team division really needs. So it'd be pretty awesome if they do get back together.
A couple things. The fact that Edge is even saying that there's a possibility of this happening means that Christian is here, even though he says he's only booked for one match. I think they're like brothers. They talk, I'm sure, on a daily basis all the time, and they've probably talked about this. WWE's probably talked about it, that they're gonna have them come and do something, whether it's down the road after WrestleMania or on the road to WrestleMania. Who knows? Maybe Edge might need a partner during his road to WrestleMania or after, if he's champion, or if there's storylines afterwards. But it's definitely interesting. You can do a lot of crazy different matchups and a lot of back in, you know, kind of dream matches that you never thought you would see. So again, more of the dream match stuff. I'm all for it. Now, can Edge and Christian be a viable tag team in the tag team division? Of course they can. Would you want them to? I don't think so. I think both guys are just so Hall of Fame. I mean, Edge is like a Hall of Famer. Christian's a Hall of Famer sooner or later. You can't have them running around in the tag team division. I don't think it makes much sense for them. But if they come together for a reason, like let's say Edge needs them versus Roman and Jimmy or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Or if he's on Sheamus and Drew or something, whatever the case may be, he can, you know, call on Christian and come and help him out. They can have a fun storyline that way. I think that makes more sense, where it's like, are they gonna be part of the tag team division and be champions? Kind of like Edge and Hulk Hogan, something like that. Just like this like just this special little run that they're gonna make for a month or so, or whatever, 2 months, whatever the case may be. I think that makes more sense. But it's definitely exciting to know that Christian's back, and if Edge is saying that this has to happen, Christian's healthy enough to have a run. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think it is going to happen as well. If he's bringing it up, it means it's going to happen. They can do a lot of things. It could be like when DX, you know, got back together and
exactly,
you know,
something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like for like a 5-year, 6-year thing. It's like a few months. You can get like 6, 7, 8, 9 months out of it and have them just, you know, cycle through a few tag teams.
That's like a year. That's a few months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so at least like half a year to close to a year of a run at least, because I think it'll help out. And they could do a lot with it. They can get to 2 major feuds in that amount of time, and then that's pretty much it. But I think I got to do something with it, because tag team division is pretty low right now.
Oh, it's trash. It's complete trash.
It's complete trash. But it'd be pretty interesting to see them get together. Now with Christian, Big E did post a picture on his Twitter of Christian and Big E having a previous match they've had. First time Big E was Intercontinental Champion, so maybe he's teasing something. Maybe WrestleMania Christian versus Big E. I don't know. We could see it. Maybe pretty interesting. But guys, that's the video we have for you guys today. Our one takeaway from NXT, and all about Edge, and now about Christian as well. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, leave us a comment what you guys think about the whole Edge situation. Who you think he's gonna pick as his opponent, or what title he's going for? I'm sorry, at WrestleMania. And do you think Edge and Christian coming back as a tag team is gonna happen? Yes or no? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. My friend is Mark Bird. Good job.
Later, Marks.